Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and a few people have asked me if I would do a video updating what I'm doing with my current training because I posted on the Facebook fan page the other day that I was doing full body 3 days a week again. So I'm going to briefly break down for everyone what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. Part of it is that I'm noticing that at my current age, I don't use growth hormone. And I'm going to turn 37 here in a couple of weeks. And I have noticed that I do not recover the same as what I did when I was in my 20s. And one of the things I've noticed is that on my ultra high frequency training, things like my knees and everything are okay, but I start getting a lot of lower back cramping. My feet, my ankles, my hands tend to hurt all the time when I'm training that way. Almost 24 hours a day, 7 days a week after the first couple of months of doing it. And I think it's in part due to my age, also in part due to the medical issues I've had previously, and that I still currently suffer from, that my body just doesn't recover the way that I would like it to, so I'm going back to training 3 days a week. Also, and no one else talks about this on YouTube, even all the guys on here who are obviously enhanced a bit, they don't ever say this, but I'm going to say this. I'm about to be cruising again for a few months. I'm probably going to cruise 8 months, 9 months out of the year from this point on, again, just in part due to my age, so I won't be doing blast other than immediately before competitions at this point. And because I'll be taking extended cruises, and because of my age, I'm going to train as if I was a completely clean strength athlete, which again goes back to the full body 3 days a week. Now, as far as my actual training itself, what it looks like, I'm going to be periodizing this a bit. My 3 days of strength training are going to be probably 2 days of relatively heavy lifting, ramping to one heavy set on a number of movements. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, that one set isn't necessarily enough, but it is when you have a full overlap. Meaning, if I come in and I squat, hang clean, and deadlift all to one heavy set, I've technically worked most of the same muscles through 3 sets, which is enough to induce optimal strength and growth, particularly if I'm working somewhere between 4 to 6 reps. For someone of my current training experience and development, that is actually perfect, right around the 3 sets, because I'm doing multiple exercises per session. So what my basic workouts look like right now on my 2 relatively heavy days, there tend to be things like squat. I'm doing incline benching instead of flat bench, but I do a really shallow incline. I'll go back to flat benching to peak for meets. I do deficit deadlift, and again to peak for meets, I'll go back to the shorter range of motion. I'm doing behind the neck push presses, then I'm doing hang cleans. And then any other additional work I want to do, all my core work, tricep work, side delt work, any ISOs I want to do, I do them then. And then when I get home later, I do chin-ups, and I'm doing chin-ups every day at home. And on my main lifting days, I'll do concentration curls also. Then I'll take 1/3 day every week to do a lot of the density training, like what you guys saw me do the other day, to where I'll do the short break 10 sets of 3. I'll probably pick a slightly smaller lift selection, probably no more than 4 lifts that day. Do that and be in and out in something like 30 minutes. Whereas in my other sessions take about an hour and a half, so I'll be lifting about 3.5 hours every week. And then also with the other 4 days, that lets me focus more on my cardio, because as I've said before, I really have to get my cardiovascular stamina up. I really want to work on my stamina and conditioning a lot more. And I find that for me, when I'm squatting 6 days a week, there's no way that I want to go get on a bike for an hour or 2 hours. It doesn't happen. I end up not doing it. And so also by me doing the strength training 3 days a week, that gives me 4 other days to where I'm not doing any training other than a few chin-ups. And then I don't have the excuse not to work on my conditioning. So I spend probably right now an hour on my off days doing fasted cardio, and then I will slowly build that up over time. And as far as the meets go, I don't really have a game plan for meets. Have not competed in anything in quite a long time at this point. I've rebuilt myself from nothing after being sick and not being able to bench press an empty bar, not being able to squat just my body. So I'm not walking in expecting to win anything this first year, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time saying, well, I need to hit this specific weight class, I need to hit these specific numbers. I can easily qualify for nationals right now if I had the flu and with no belt. So I'm not worried about hitting numbers. I'm just going to walk in and just do a meet, qualify for nationals, try to go to nationals, go in and just have fun, do the best I can, and not really concern myself with a big meet prep or concern myself with trying to peak for everything and hit perfect weight classes and try to win anything. I'm just going to go in and have fun and get back into the swing of things this first year. and I'm not going to put any real pressure on myself with any of it. I'll save that for the year after. So that's pretty much my game plan. That's what I'm doing. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time. But let me give you guys a bicep shot before I go.